Hey, good morning, econ students. This here is one of a three-part series of videos kind of giving an overview of the material that you're doing for Chapter 8 on business. And so I'm not going to cover everything that was exactly in the slide deck, but just kind of a broad overview of what I want to make sure you do get out of this. And also, kind of importantly, I have a slide for each chapter or each lesson in the chapter on kind of big ideas, just kind of make sure we know, like, so what, like, why are we bothering to cover this? What's kind of the big idea? So first, this one will be on 8.1 sole proprietorships, and then there'll be one for 8.2 and 8.3 as well. I'm not doing 8.4 because I think the chapter is pretty self-explanatory, and there aren't any kind of real big takeaways that I think I need to cover with a video. So let's just go right into 8.1 sole proprietorships. As you can see on the slide, basic definition: owned by one individual, owned by a person. And what's important about this, I think, is that that's 75%, 3/4 of all U.S. businesses. So that's a big proportion of people involved in business as owners. Even though, as we'll see, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the bulk of our economy, but there's a lot of people making their living. And the most businesses that get created are by individuals starting businesses. And so this is a key access point for Americans to making a living and having a profession and finding their way in the world. As you can see, they're obviously not a huge part of the economy because there's only 6% of all sales. So these individual owners are not doing most of the business in the country, but it is a significant amount of people who are earning their personal livelihoods from it. The book covers the advantages of sole proprietorships. And again, I can read through these, but the one I really want to emphasize is just how easy they are to start up. Because again, this means that business as an American is a quick, easy thing to gain access to. You can start your own business. If you have the idea and you have the desire to be an entrepreneur and to take that responsibility, you can start a business. And that is extremely liberating and creates a lot of opportunity. And so that's a really important aspect of our free market is the ease of startup of businesses, even as an individual owner. In fact, there's few regulations. Obviously, it's nice if you get to keep all the profit. It also means that they're very efficient because you can make fast and quick decisions because you have full control. And they're also, as it says, they're easy to end. Big important disadvantage that a lot of people don't realize is the idea of unlimited personal liability. And that is that if your business incurs debts or your business incurs, like, say, a lawsuit because somebody was harmed or you are perceived to have done some wrong, then they can come after not only your business resources, but all of your personal income. So that means in order to pay any debts you incur as the sole business owner, even whether from a lawsuit or just loans or things that you've taken out, they can repo your car, they can come after your house, they can anything that you own personally is up for grabs to pay for the debts that are owed by your business. And so personal finances can be directly damaged or destroyed if an individual business were to go under or were to no longer be able to be profitable. And so again, that just shows the risk and also the gall that people are willing to take on when they start their businesses. Other important disadvantages is that as the sole business owner, you have limited resources. I thought it's interesting. The book talks about that. One, you don't have as much access to resources because you're just one person. You have only your savings, usually only your ability to get loans, which as an individual, you can't get anywhere near the size of the loan that a larger business that we'll cover in the later sections can. But also as the sole business owner, you're limited by your own human capital, your set of ideas, your way of seeing the world, your specialized set of skills. A lot of times business owners will favor one aspect of a business versus the other. And so maybe the accounting is really good, but the sales or the marketing is weak, or vice versa. You're really good at marketing, you're a real people person, but you're disorganized and you don't like logistics. And so you're limited by the fact that you're trying to do it all, which again, that also means time. Time is limited. That there's only so much that one person can do, and that is a limit to what a sole proprietorship can achieve. Also, that they also tend to not be very permanent because they tend to be linked to the lifetime of the owner. I mean, you hear a lot of stories about somebody who starts a business and then their kids don't want to follow up in it, or they get ill, or something happens to them personally, and the business then is going to disappear. That's what our country, to a large extent, the COVID-19 thing is facing, because there's 75% of businesses have no back. It's based on personal savings, personal capital, and when they don't have any customers and they go a couple weeks or a month without income, there's nothing backing them up, and they have unlimited personal liability, and so they have no choice but to potentially close those businesses. And so they just tend not to last very long for various reasons, especially over generations. Because again, they're also, because they have limited financial resources in terms of like benefits. The book talks about fringe benefits. Then it's also harder. The employees that these businesses have tend not to be highly skilled ones that they can keep for a long duration, because those employees are looking. It's usually more of a starting point or a stepping stone. So they struggle for permanence, both because of their link to the individual owner and because of what they can offer their employees long term. So take a look to review that. We'll just finish with just the big ideas. Why, why is it what's important about this idea of sole proprietorships? And I've already kind of alluded to these two things, is that we don't underestimate the value that they are easy to set up. That's the whole idea of America being the land of opportunity, that people can come here, they have an idea, there's not a lot of paperwork or legal regulations and things stopping people from starting a business and seeing what they can do. And so that, again, creates opportunity for, again, even if they're not generating they're only generating 6% of the sales in the country, there's still 75% where it is generating enough. If their business is functioning, it must be providing an income for those people. So that means it's providing that opportunity. It's doing its job. Somebody was able to achieve their dreams and live and support their family because they were able to start a business. And that's a huge opportunity in the US and a free market. That also means competition, that if anybody can jump into a market easily, then they are free and equal to challenge the already existing firms. And as we've talked about, competition is vital. You need that competition. You need to keep existing firms on their toes so that you can challenge the way they do business, challenge their prices, challenge their efficiency, force them to think in a new way. And if it were hard for these new businesses to start up, those larger businesses would be able to become more and more entrenched and more influential and antagonistic against maintaining a free market and maintaining all the things that allow prices not to function properly. We like competition because competition brings down prices, and competition also creates the third thing there, innovation. That because you can bring in these new ideas, these new businesses, again, anybody can come into a certain marketplace and come at it from a new direction. Even though they're small, their innovations, their new ideas are going to make it better, because while an existing firm's not going to like that, they're not going to like to have to change. They're not going to like to have to compete. Us as consumers, us as a nation as a whole, we benefit. Our economy as a whole benefits from this competition, people fighting to be the best, to better serve us, the consumers. So that it is absolutely vital that the government keeps roadblocks to a minimum to allowing people to start these businesses. And that is a chief source of American wealth and prosperity and free market success. And as I already just said, it's powerful because this represents 75% of all businesses. This is how a lot of businesses start. They might grow into partnerships or grow into corporations, but a lot of times they start with just one person and an idea. And that's the wonderful thing of the United States. New ideas, new innovation, constant change. Change is good because what they're changing to do is better meet the needs of the society. Whereas if things get stuck and stagnant and we can't have this new startup, we can't have these small players in the economy, then the economy ossifies and gets control and set in its ways and its inefficiencies, and it doesn't adapt to the needs that we have as a nation and as individuals. So sole proprietorships really are kind of the heart of American opportunity in the free market. All right. Let me know if you have any questions, and look for the videos on the other sections.